let's talk about AJ. AJ is back at it, and he is not backing down. As I keep saying, the Karen retrial is the gift that keeps on giving. And now we have some news from Alan Jackson. You guys may have heard Alan Jackson is not letting go what happened on the stand with Officer Dever. You guys remember that? I should have went back and played a clip of it, but Officer Dever's testimony was absolutely horrible. And now Alan Jackson is writing a letter to the commissioner to say, hey, listen, I know you love Officer Dever. I know you guys had your meeting that you've since denied and said you didn't even know what was going on with the Karen retrial. But she shouldn't be allowed to testify anymore. And if she testifies, we need to let the defense know. We need to let whoever she's testifying against know that this lady has false memories and her credibility is absolutely shot. Let's see what's going on here.
Getting answers. Uncovering the truth. Boston 25 News investigates.
Now to a 25 investigates exclusive in the Karen Reed case. It involves Kelly Dever. She's the Boston police officer who sparred with the defense in Reed's retrial. Investigative reporter Ted Daniel has obtained a scathing letter one of Reed's lawyers sent about Dever.
The letter was written by attorney Alan Jackson. It's addressed to Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox. Jackson demands that Kelly Dever be added to Boston's Brady list. The Brady list tracks law enforcement officers who have credibility issues or a history of misconduct.
Did you observe something in the Sallyport garage on January 29th, 2022 that you found unusual?
I know I did not. No.
So the answer is no.
Correct.
That testimony in June has prompted Alan Jackson to demand that Officer Kelly Dever be permanently labeled as untruthful. In a letter to Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox obtained by 25 Investigates, Jackson writes, either Officer Dever lied about having a false memory or she actually suffers from a condition that subjects her to false memories. Dever was previously a Canton police officer, and working the day John O'Keefe was killed. She testified that she was mistaken when she told FBI agents that she saw ATF agent Brian Higgins and then Canton Police Chief Ken Berkowitz near Karen Reed's Lexus for a, quote, wildly long time.
It was a distorted memory. Therefore, I can't state it because at this point it would be a lie.
She articulated her observations in considerable detail, including specifics about the monitor she was viewing at the dispatch desk. Jackson writes, adding, her credibility and reliability as a law enforcement officer are irreparably compromised.
I agree.
No, it was just me and the commissioner.
Jackson's letter does not address a conversation Dever testified she had with Boston Police Commissioner Cox about her involvement in the Karen Reed case. Dever said Cox told her to simply tell the truth. When asked about that conversation Thursday, Commissioner Cox responded,
I have no idea what they're talking about with Karen Reed. It had nothing to do with Karen Reed.
Boston police did not immediately...
This is crazy, guys. The commissioner said, I'm going to play the full video and we'll get to the letter here in a second. The commissioner said, I don't know what they're talking about. Even though this chick just got on the stand and said, he just told me to tell the truth. He didn't say do the right thing. She's crazy.
Respond to our request for comment. Our attempts to reach Officer Dever were also unsuccessful. For 25 Investigates, I'm Ted Daniel.
And Ted,
shout out to Ted. Let's go ahead and listen to what the commissioner had to say and listen to this BS guy. This is insane.
Your name came up during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit from Officer Kelly Dever.
He's laughing.
The defense implied that you influenced her testimony. Do you want to respond to that?
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with the Karen Reed case.
What? So if what he's saying is true, then Kelly Dever lied again. Guys, I think she's done. If the commissioner's saying, I don't even know what's talking, I never talked to her about that, then she lied on the stand multiple times. Jesus.
You know, I have an organization full of over 3,000 people, and we support all our folks. And the reality is that,
Jeez.
I get information passed on, whether people are high or low, and I encourage everyone, right? And if you're going to work here and you belong here, then we're going to encourage you. I have no idea what they're talking about with Karen Reed. It had nothing to do with Karen Reed. No discussion about it.
Did you tell Officer Dever to do the right thing?
I didn't know she was even associated with that case. So, you know, I don't know. I was struck, like, what do I have to do with the Karen Reed race? I never have said those words together.
To getting thrown under the bus.
You know, it's much to do about nothing. We have employees here that we have to develop and encourage and do things, and I do that for tons of our employees.
Do you
Right?
feel
Of
that
course.
you were inappropriately drawn into this as some sort of boogeyman?
That case is over, and you know, we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about. I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. I was in the state of Michigan. So,
Thank you.
He said, I didn't even talk to her about it. Well, let's see what AJ had to say in his letter, because AJ wasn't letting things go that easily. Check this out. We've got a letter to the commissioner, right? And I guess he's going to go at the commissioner later because somebody's lying here. AJ is trying to push the issue and say, listen, commissioner, either you throw this chick under the bus or you got to tell the truth. Which one's it going to be? We'll have to wait and see. Dear Commissioner Cox, pursuant to the obligations established under the Brady versus Maryland and Giglio versus United States, this letter serves formal notice that a member of your department, Officer Kelly Dever, must be included in the Brady database. Again, the Brady database basically puts you on the list, and the list says that this person is incredible. Here's where they lied. Here's what they said when they lied. Make sure you look out for her. The grounds for her mandatory inclusion in the database are outlined below. As you are no doubt aware, well, it seems like he's unaware, Officer Dever was a witness called by the defense in the matter of the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, a high-profile murder case that was tried for the second time in Norfolk Superior Court in April of this year. The case received extensive national and international media coverage, and if you're saying you don't know about it, then you a liar too. Officer Dever's involvement in the case stemmed from her interview with agents from the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, during which interview Officer Dever explained to the agents in detail her observations of former Canton Police Chief Kenneth Berkowitz and Special Agent Brian Higgins of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives in the Sallyport garage of the Canton Police Department. She described seeing both individuals enter the Sallyport garage of the Canton Police Department, where the SUV in question was located on January 29th of 2022. Officer Dever described in indelible detail that she witnessed Chief Berkowitz and Mr. Higgins go into the Sallyport and stay there for a, quote, wildly long time, and that she thought it was weird that a witness on the case, Higgins, would have access to a seminal piece of evidence, the SUV in the investigation. During her lengthy interview with federal agents, she articulated her observations in considerable detail, including specifics about the monitors she was viewing at the dispatch desk. She described at length her observations of the two men entering the Sallyport with the SUV. Officer Dever claimed no issues with her memory, and she was clear with the agents that she made her observations in the afternoon or early evening of January 29, 2022, at the end of her shift after the SUV had been secured in the Sallyport. Subsequent thereto, the federal authorities provided a report of their interview with Officer Dever, both to the prosecution and to the defense in the Reed matter. And this is when it all went bad. In or about April of this year, the defense issued a subpoena for Officer Dever to testify in the murder trial. And on June 2nd, 2025, she was subsequently called and sworn to testify before the jury. During her testimony under oath, Officer Dever changed her statement. She lied to somebody. She lied to the Commonwealth or she lied to the FBI. I don't know which is worse. Claiming not that she did not make the statements to the federal agents, but that her observations of Chief Berkowitz and Mr. Higgins were a false memory.
Stop the cap.
She maintained under oath and throughout her testimony that the event she described to federal agents never happened. She said they couldn't have happened, that the memory she was recounting was false, and that the events she described did not actually occur. How they do that? It is clear, therefore, that one of two things is true. Either Officer Dever lied about having a false memory, which is most likely the case, or she actually suffers from a condition that subjects her to false memories. In either case, her credibility and reliability as a law enforcement officer are irreparably compromised, and that is an understatement. If she lied under oath, Officer Dever is guilty of perjury. If she truly suffers from false memories, she is unfit to serve as a police officer. God dang! Oh, AJ wants her gone. I knew this witness bothered him. I didn't think it bothered him this much. Guys, in case you don't know, AJ's main place of, or where he lives, where he mainly practices, is California. And for him to go this far and write this letter and go after Officer Dever, I mean, this must have bothered him to no end. You heard how he called her Officer Dever. You saw the back and forth. And we even said here as we were watching the trial that that was probably one of the most hostile witnesses that we saw. I mean, he's trying to ruin this chick's career, and maybe rightfully so. You lie on the stand as a police officer. I think that should be the case. If she truly suffers from false memories, she is unfit to serve as a police officer. Her reports, statements, and testimony can no longer be presumed accurate, and any case, current or prior, involving Officer Dever must be reviewed accordingly. These circumstances bear directly on Officer Dever's credibility and represent impeachment evidence pursuant to Brady and Giglio. Given these facts, it is clear that it is incumbent upon your department to immediately include Officer Dever in the Brady database, and all information surrounding her claimed false memories must be disclosed to the defense in every single case in which she was a witness or potential witness. Wow. As you are aware, both the prosecution and law enforcement share a constitutional obligation pursuant to the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment to affirmatively disclose exculpatory and impeachment information to the defense in every case. So this is going to follow her around if you continue to keep her on the police force. You're not going to be able to have her testify, and it's going to ruin your case. Do you want to risk that? Do you want to have her stay on the Boston Police Department? Up to you. The Supreme Court has mandated that when the reliability of a given witness may well be determined of guilt or innocence, non-disclosure of evidence affecting credibility falls within the Brady rule. He goes on to say, failure to disclose Officer Dever's intentionally false testimony and or her false memory condition I know he was laughing when he typed that, would be a constitutional violation, subjecting both the prosecution and the BPD to severe sanctions, the least of which is the dismissal of every case she touches. If it is determined that your department was on notice, which this letter formally provides, and that the department does nothing to include Officer Dever in the Brady list and thereafter provide to the defense the exculpatory and impeachment materials in its possession, the sanctions can and will be far more extreme. He said, you can run, but you cannot hide. Please confirm your receipt and understanding of this correspondence, along with confirmation that Officer Dever has been included in the Brady database. Very truly yours, Alan Jackson of Worksman, Jackson and Quinn LLP. Dang. This is just the beginning, guys. This is just the beginning because, you know, AJ is going to follow up on this. As he said, make sure you let me know you got this. We got it. Obviously, the commissioner got it as well. We saw, and it was reported that it appears that Officer Dever is taking some type of leave of absence. Could they be connected? Possibly. Are they connected? Most likely. I'm sure she was made aware that this was going to happen. It was written several days ago. And It's not looking great for Officer Dever. Wish she would have just told the truth. It made things easier. Her testimony really didn't have a positive impact when it comes to the prosecution calling her. And it might be the end of her career in general. And if she's on this Brady list, that's one of the worst things that could happen, because you don't want her involved in anything else, because she might have to testify. I mean, imagine if she has to testify in another major high profile case. I mean, there goes a big part of your case. So they're going to call this officer who falsely testified multiple times. She gave a false testimony to FBI agents, or she lied on the stand. It has to be in one of these. Wow. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments and in the chat.